Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. All of us up here on the flight deck of the Avondale Comedy Podcast would like to thank you for listening and remind you that the views expressed on the Avondale Comedy Podcast are not necessarily the views of the fine people at WAHS 89.5, the Avondale School District, the City of Auburn Hills, anyone in the state of Michigan, or anyone of sound mind and body for that matter. For our more sensitive listeners, we would like to remind you that the Avondale Comedy Podcast is rated PG-13. We would like you to take the time now to familiarize yourself with the controls of your radio and, for your own safety, locate your nearest exit, whether that be a preset, volume knob, or simply the off switch. Our flight time today will be approximately 1 hour, and as always, we recommend that you take the time to locate your air sickness bag, which has been provided in the seat pocket ahead of you for your comfort. Please remain in your seats with your seatbelts fastened at all times. We know that you have a choice in radio and podcast programming, and we would like to thank both of you for listening, and we would like to invite you now to sit back, relax, and we hope you enjoy today's in-flight entertainment.
From the Avondale High School radio studio, broadcasting on 89.5 WAHS, it's the Avondale Comedy Podcast. With Dave Foster.
Now, do you hear that?
That's the sound of birds singing. Charles Verhey.
I have a squirrel problem, so when I see this, it makes me laugh. I giggle inside.
Yeah.
Michael Zoyce.
Oh my goodness, really? And my butt goes explosion, splash, splash, splash.
Scott Hollenpeter.
Universal remotes. Universal remotes, hey! This changes everything.
And Matt Fox.
They said absolutely under no conditions are you allowed to play the chicken dance.
And now, the Avondale Comedy Podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Avondale Comedy Podcast.
Hello!
Thank you, Matt.
All right, damn it.
We are broadcasting live on 89.5 WAHS in Auburn Hills.
In where?
Auburn Hills.
You sure it's not Auburn Heights?
No, it's Auburn Hills.
Since when?
Since
God, the early 80s.
1981.
1981. I knew it was the 80s somewhere.
That was a quiz.
was a
Now
trick-
you've learned
it was a
something
trick
because we're a
question.
school radio station. Learning.
Yeah, we are broadcasting from the Avondale Community Radio Studio.
That's right.
Where
2017 Station of the Year.
That's
the year.
so last year.
Community radio. They'll let anybody on. Here we
Literally.
are.
Yeah,
Well,
here we are.
Let's not go too far. I mean, they did slap some cuffs on us.
as you heard right before the intro. Yes. So, guys, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, welcome.
Starting off with a bang.
Yeah.
Yes, bought my house. It's done. The ink is on paper.
It's not dry yet, though, is it?
Oh no, it's been 24 hours. Very
still
excited.
stench.
How did that feeling of having that much money in your hand?
for like 60 seconds.
Yeah.
It felt good. It felt good. Like I had images of Barbados
Yeah.
going through my mind. Like faking my own death and then Barbados.
Within 60 seconds.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to go check the weather. I'll be right back.
It's cold. Darn it, here.
It's okay, man. Because I knew I was buying the new house, so I upped my my life insurance policy. So something happens to me, Tracy and these kids get rich, man.
You sure you want... Did they know that?
I don't know. They don't care.
Well, she does now.
Power in the wrong hands.
Well, now this brings up an interesting question. Since you work in
Yeah.
the medical field, can you get like a cadaver and be like, I'm going to go check the weather outside, then throw something out in the freezing cold and be like, look, that's me, and then leave? And
I don't think that's how... Like
That's
death
not how
works.
this works, man.
well, this is why I can't fake my own death because I wouldn't be very good at it.
Hey, look, everybody. It's me.
I'll tell you what, though. Speaking of cadavers, we had somebody had called out sick, or I don't know. We had some demonstration going on. Some company was bringing in some new technique for joint replacements.
Uh-huh.
So they set up a lab to show you how the new machine works, how the new equipment works, And we have an experimental OR upstairs that's just for testing out new stuff. And you use cadaver parts to test it out.
Sure.
So I'm like, oh no, blah 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 didn't come in today. Who's going to set up the lab? All these people are going to be in there expecting to see this demonstration. I'm like, oh, never mind, I'll do it myself. I run upstairs and I look, and there's the box. It's packed in dry ice. Oh, that's the cadaver. And I open it up, and it's just a leg.
Kind of gives a
Makes
new
sense.
meaning
I
to
mean,
it.
Was there a lampshade?
I
with
bet
it?
you were hopping mad about that.
Gives a new meaning to lend me a hand.
the way you mount it, it's at about the level where a human's leg would be.
Right.
There's a spike, and you literally take the leg and stick it on the spike.
So the word fragile on the packaging didn't make
it must
any
be
sense.
Italian.
No, it was still mostly frozen, so it was pretty sturdy.
All right.
How soon after breakfast does this happen?
It's clinical, man.
See,
I know.
that's back there, right around that age.
My
where
morning dump was more grotesque than
You could be eating a bowl of chili, and the next thing you know, you're taking care of a patient.
I don't know if you remember. There was an age that I hit where the toys that I had started to mingle with the new movies that I was seeing. So all of a sudden, I realized
your
that
late 30s.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, I realized my He-Man figures, the legs could pop off.
Right?
So they'd go to war, and then I'd pop He-Man's leg off, and he'd be like, "Oh, you wouldn't believe what happened!" Oh.
I'll just replace it with Skeletor's leg. Yeah.
Well,
They're all
the other
interchangeable.
characters that come by, He-Man, what happened? Go on without me. I ain't leaving you. I don't know, it got very Armageddon.
Well, shall we start the day?
Oh, I suppose we can.
I haven't seen this yet. What?
I was just going to ask, 'cause I don't have something specifically prepared other than, by the way, it just surpassed Force Awakens.
Oh, really?
At the box office. Yeah.
In sales?
Yeah, I saw an article, something about like $550 million it made in the first 3 weeks.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something-
I don't know. It
somewhere.
surpassed the billion mark midweek sometime.
They're that much closer to covering that $4 billion price tag that they bought. That
No,
franchise
between Rogue One and Force Awakens.
Yeah, they
and now
made
this,
that
they're
up.
Job's done.
But is
Jerks.
it conceivable that anybody listening hasn't seen it yet? Hasn't seen?
Do we?
Last Jedi.
I need a spoiler drop.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
I don't know if I.
Do we have something?
No, I don't.
No.
Violet hasn't seen. I have my.
No, that doesn't work.
She didn't want to see it because it was too scary. But
No.
we're going to be talking about Last Jedi. If you haven't seen it yet, something's wrong with you. And you obviously, anyone that hasn't seen it yet doesn't care enough. And even if we spoil it, they're not going to
Oh, they're at the point where
right?
they just do not care.
What I'd like to know is where this fan base civil war came from. How has the fan base split in such a way where half of us are like, it's fantastic, it's up there with the original trilogy. I'm in that camp.
Yeah.
And then there's another segment of the fan base, and I'm talking specifically guys like us, the hardcore fanboys, whose lives have been turned upside down and hate this and are calling for rebellion against
Yes.
Disney. Who are those yahoos, and what is their problem?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't figure that out. I haven't actually met that person yet. I keep wanting to have that conversation with a guy who is it you? Are you that guy?
No, I'm not that guy. I can tell you that there's lots of things about it that I love, lots of things I absolutely hate. But
Okay, yes, there were a few things. I had a few problems with it.
yeah,
Yeah, but
But-
they're
Well,
minor in
there's always a
comparison
problem
to the
with it.
overall.
When we had the big reveal,
Right.
and it fit perfectly with what we talked about. Ryan Johnson said, "Yeah, you find out about her parentage.
It's not a big
not
deal.
really
Don't worry
important."
about it. Yeah.
I
So
would say
far.
it was important to the storyline.
I think it was
So
yeah.
far, yes.
The way, making it nothing was important.
Yeah,
I
for
think
what
that was
happened at the end, that
it was
was absolutely
profound
important.
in
Yeah.
different ways. But when that was revealed, I knew I'm like, oh boy, a bunch of fat guys with unkept beards are going to be upset about this. And I thought about it. I do understand why, because for 2 years, dorks like us have done nothing but spin ridiculous theories.
Of course.
Right.
Right?
And now we have the internet to propel those
Right.
theories and to gain fans practically who are like, yeah, I think you're onto something. and-
He's spot on. We talked about many of them here, and none of them turned out to be true. And those people are just devastated now that their theories weren't true.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I was talking about this at work with one of my buds, and Snoke could have looked at her and said, "I am Darth Plagueis," and Rey and 75% of the audience would have said, "Who the hell is that?"
Yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah.
I think one of the things about the parentage that I think seems to be so important is the fact that all we've been led to believe is that the Force is in the bloodstream. It's in the family genes.
It's not.
That's what we were later
Right.
diverted to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think Rain Johnson and the story writers were saying, no, that's not true. We don't want that. So that's why the parentage of Rey is so important, because it takes us back to that idea that it's not in the parentage. It's not in the bloodstream. It's not
and
a
reinforces
midichlorian.
reinforces that rebellions are built on hope.
Yeah.
That anyone can
Surprise.
have hope for the future.
Do you know why I loved it so much? Because when I walked out of that theater, and I'm thinking to myself, that was really good. I really enjoyed that. And I look over at my son, and he looks at me and he says, that was one of the coolest movies I have ever seen.
Exactly.
And then I got even more excited. I'm like, are you kidding me? I tried to get him to watch some of the other Star Wars movies, and he's been like, yeah, that was pretty good. I'm like, you don't understand. When I walked out of the theater, I was like, that was the coolest thing ever. And now here, many, many, many years later, I get to walk out of a theater, and my son's like, that was the coolest thing ever. And I'm pointing at him going, that's how I felt.
My youngest daughter, she went and saw it with her friends, and then she wanted to go and see it specifically alone with Dad because Dad's a fanboy. The daughter's is a fangirl, so we went and we were so excited to watch it together. We actually sat down in the theater and we actually enjoyed the movie together. We walked out and we started talking about certain things. And I'm like, what did you think about, Leia when she was sucked out of the spaceship because the bridge got blown apart, and then she does her little thing, and she's like, I wasn't too keen about that. I'm like, perfect. You understand where I'm coming from.
Okay, because it looked cheesy. It was a bad effect.
Yeah.
But to the story, it made sense.
I
liked it.
didn't know the Force could do that.
Why not? Even in Empire, it shows that she's got the mental, she's got
No,
the
I
spirit
know she
communication
has
with
it.
Luke.
I know she has that, but once you're in space, you're done.
You know what? The Force gets to do whatever the
what it wants
writer
to do.
and the director at the time says it can do.
Fanboys.
The only thing that really kind of didn't fit for the whole movie for me was the whole Monte Carlo,
The whole
find
Canto
code
Bite,
breaker.
the Canto Bite subplot was stupid.
Yeah, it could have been done. They could have still found a code breaker. They could have turned somebody in the Empire. It could have been done in the
Well, they didn't
universe
need-
we know.
They
Like,
had to
this was-
put the dog in there somewhere.
They just needed a way to create a
Right.
subplot and get
They had to
Finn separate
introduce.
from the group.
I think one of the biggest parts was the whole social justice warrior with the freeing of the animals and the. I think that's.
No, they just needed it to feed the mutiny subplot.
Yeah, that's all.
They needed some reason to.
Even something that
Yeah.
just didn't look like a small principality in southern France would have been a little better than this.
But
It was actually filmed in Croatia.
I don't mind. I don't mind that.
Well, I mean, it looked like Monaco.
Yeah, that was one of my
depending on the
problems.
coast.
That
That
Canto
whole-
Bite was not a cool place. It
See,
was not a
I
great
don't mind
place.
seeing different parts of the universe that represent different aspects of the universe. I mean, we saw that in the cantina on Tatooine.
Well,
Right, but that
Now
looked like something foreign. This could have happened on Earth with people wearing costumes.
So it was the art direction and the
Could've been a
visuals
big
you didn't like,
cosplay,
or the
man.
storyline.
kind
Because
of
for me, it was the
both.
storyline was just slapped together. I didn't
The
mind.
visuals certainly did not help things. I mean,
I
it
didn't
looked
mind
like
that.
it was here.
It was honestly something that I really liked
Really?
about it. I loved the whole cantina or the casino scene because a hive of scum and villainy, and sure enough, you see this
Well, I
horrible
mean,
place.
can't
Hive
we-
of scum and villainy because they did it
But
a
they're
second
the
time.
opposite
and there
of the
it was.
type of
Then
scum
the
you'd
third
find.
time here, this is the third time we've been told this is a hive of scum and villainy, and I was expecting another Tatooine.
Well, right, but I
another
mean, could we come
goofy-
up with something better than what we already know as
No.
craps and roulette and cards? I mean,
Oh yeah, okay. The games could have been
course.
better.
And
right.
chess? Hologram chess? I'll tell you what made me
Yeah, I
mad.
don't-
I wish Chewie would have taken a bite of that porg. He's sitting here. He's staring at it. It looks delicious.
it would have been just as funny.
Because a porg is looking at him. Don't eat that. And he's
That's
like, okay.
my mom.
You already killed and roasted the thing.
Right, right. And coming from the same thing that's supposed to rip your arms out of your socket because he lost at chess.
Yeah, it would have been just as funny if he'd done that as if he hadn't.
The rumor is that the director is vegan. I don't know if that's true or not.
But you made a startling theory back in the day, a number of episodes ago, where Rey would go up to Luke and she would be like, "Here's your lightsaber," and he'd be this broken down crotchety of an old man, right?
Right.
You were spot on. You were spot on because you just looked at it, he's like, "Yeah, whatever."
Guys, that's what Jedi do. They become reclusive hermits.
I just thought it was great. He was
if
spot
they
on.
live that long,
They
then
do
they're
something
just-
stupid. They feel guilty, and they
go
they
away.
pull away. Yeah, Yoda went to the freaking swamp. Obi-Wan went to Tatooine and went
Went to
into
the desert.
obscurity.
Yep.
It's what Jedis do.
Yep.
Like
What
a
are people
dog.
surprised about? Oh, they took Luke in a completely wrong direction. No, they didn't.
But
no,
at least-
they
but at
did
least Luke
exactly
had-
what he should have done.
At least
he,
Luke had
he
his blue
did
milk.
exactly what Yoda did and exactly what Obi-Wan did.
Yep.
Is
We said
hid
that.
from everybody and just become
A hermit
a hermit.
and get blue milk whenever he wants.
I didn't I didn't understand that whole thing.
That's a whole anatomical.
But I understand it in the storyline that
wonderfully
this is what life is as a Jedi.
It's,
kind of a thing.
it's made even better when he won't break eye contact while he's drinking it. He's like, you're going to watch me
man.
milk this thing. And now you're going to watch me put it in my face. I'm going to dribble it down my chin. Are you watching? Don't you look away.
Any Meet the Fockers references? No.
No.
You can pretty much milk anything that has nipples. I got nipples. Can you milk me?
Hey.
All right.
In Star Wars, yes.
Star Wars updates. Yay!
So that's
All right, there we go.
We could do a
Star
whole
Wars update.
episode on this, but
Yeah,
I don't
we
care what
really
anyone
could.
says. It was
Well, we do have
fantastic.
another.
I loved it.
Yeah, we
do
got
have
something
another
coming
episode
soon, yeah.
coming
Oh,
up.
we'll continue the
So we-
conversation
yeah.
then.
All right.
How about we do a little bit of this?
Sports, 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 sports,
Yeah.
sports, 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 sports. Score!
They turn
Well,
off when it's live.
I
so-
would like to take this
you've lost
opportunity
me.
to issue a public apology to Mike for making fun of him all those weeks.
The Loins this year will win 9 games. Echo was so distracting enough to win the NFC.
It wasn't enough.
Yeah, but it was 9 and
I
7.
know, it's amazing.
So yeah, the Lions
After
did go,
Bridgewater got
go
hurt, I was
9
sure
and
that was-
7. Charles, you know what the Lions are?
It's a soccer team.
Soccer.
Yeah,
Got it.
football.
Football.
Yeah, with the round ball. Yes.
Got it. Sports ball. With
Sports
the round
ball
one.
with the round one. Yes.
Not the oblong one?
It's
The white, the white, and- the
It's
white
the brown,
and
the
black
brown pig-shaped oval one. Yes, you're thinking of soccer,
Yes.
or what we call here running around and pretending to be hurt.
The
Ah,
most
the
famous
Loins.
sport everywhere around the world except here.
Yeah, because it's stupid.
And there's a reason why it's not. Because it's stupid.
It's lame and boring. And here we don't have to settle. It's the same reason the Japanese eat seaweed, because they have to.
So yeah, the Lions they did win 9 games, and they won their very last game to go 9 and 7.
Yeah, but they
and
blew
that
it.
game meant nothing.
They blew it against the suck-ass Bengals.
Yes, they did.
When it actually meant something, they choked. Absolutely, Caldwell should have got fired.
That is
Absolutely.
the Lions playbook.
And if
Yeah.
we didn't have $25 million a year on Glass Stafford, he should have been out of there too. Nobody's going to pick up that contract now.
I actually disagree with you. I like Stafford. I think
He
think
actually
he
improved
is
a lot this year.
a playoff caliber quarterback.
You think he's worthy of being the highest paid player in football?
Highest, I don't know, but I think he's a good quarterback that can lead this team through the playoffs. I just
Why hasn't he done it in his entire career?
because his coaching sucks.
You think that's it?
Yes,
Not his
absolutely.
inconsistent play?
No.
I think the inconsistent play comes from bad coaching.
Oh, come on. Those crappy
What do you think about
misthrown-
Cooter?
Jim Bob. Jim Bob.
I think
You know, I only watch one game a year, and it's at Thanksgiving when we're getting the turkey going, and I'm hearing Jim Bob Cooter. I'm like, are you kidding me? It sounds like somebody out of Dukes of Hazzard. Or
Yes,
something.
it is.
you're thinking crazy Cooter.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we never knew his first name though.
The mechanic.
It could have
Crazy.
been Jim Bob
It's a
Cooter.
Roscoe Pico train.
Ooh, Flash!
Just them good old boys.
Good
So
old
yeah,
boys.
I will.
I
I'll mock
abs-
you again next year.
I
but
absolutely
nice job.
back firing Caldwell. He should have
Boy,
been
howdy.
last year.
Did you
Yeah.
see what they just interviewed
Yeah.
yesterday? Matt Patricia,
Yeah, whatever.
defensive coordinator from New England, because Quinn came from New England. So he's trying to pull Patricia over to the Lions to be the head coach.
The defensive coordinator?
Yep.
Current DC, yeah.
Current DC of
Is-
the
isn't-
Patriots.
Are the Patriots defense kind of mediocre?
Not over the past number of years that he's been there.
They
the
do
first half of the
remarkable
Super Bowl
things
last year.
with average players.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
But I
that's
think
what-
that's
but-
Belichick.
and his cheating, yeah.
Of
He
course.
finds a way to cheat.
When you cheat, your bad players look good.
Right. No, but yeah, I'm excited to see who Quinn goes after, because this is the first hire that Quinn
Quinn has done, yeah.
has done for the Lions as a
Well,
farm
yeah.
head coach.
Caldwell was our third choice.
Right.
Oh well.
Oh, well, nothing. It's another crap season down the toilet.
Now we can watch good football for the rest of the season.
But good football.
Yeah.
Us.
Yo,
My
you-
head.
You call that a sound drop, Charles?
Oh, are we back?
Yes, we're back. Hi, Charles.
I'm off hold.
The door is open.
When we start talking about sports, Chuck thinks this.
Uh-oh.
God damn it.
Hey, shut up! Yay, somebody else got it! Yahoo!
Oh, lovely.
Indeed. All right, well, what do we got for today?
Nothing.
No,
We have prepared.
we have prepared to talk. Did you see that article that Scott sent? We're at 10 things I hate about you.
Yes.
Yes.
We're going to talk a little bit about that today.
It was interesting.
Yes, it was.
Good. It'll explain my love of wasabi and goat cheese. You don't understand now, but you will.
You will.
Wasabi.
I also want to play a song for you guys a little bit later in the episode. Jennifer was driving around in the car and heard this song, and she played it for me last night. So, of course, I have to tell you guys about it.
Subject us
Okay,
to it.
please.
Yeah,
Well, okay.
that's interesting. But in the
Swear
meantime,
if it's Bruno Mars, I'm going to punch you.
get your fist ready. Scott, why don't you take us into break?
In a survey of happiness around the world that found interesting results in the North Korean peninsula.
You blew it!
When asked how they felt, 100% of those surveyed said they couldn't complain. I got an actual laugh out of that one. Come on.
All right, we will be back.
I lost my lucky ball and chain. Now she's 4 years gone. She's 5 feet tall and sick of me and all my rattling on. She threw away her baby doll. I held on to my pride, but I was young and foolish then. I feel old and foolish now. Confidentially, she never called me baby doll. Confidentially, I never had much pride, but now I rock a bar stool and I drink for two, just pondering this time bomb in my mind. I lost my lucky ball and chain. Now she's 4 years gone. She's 5 feet tall and sick of me and all my rattling on. She walked away from a happy man. I thought I was so cool. I just stood there whistling. There goes the bride as she walked out the door. There goes the bride as she walked out the door. I could shake my tiny fist and swear I wasn't wrong. But what's the sense in arguing when you're all alone? Sure as you can't steer a train, you can't change your fate. And when she told me off that day, I knew I'd lost my home. Confidentially, I never told you of her charm. Confidentially, we never had a home. But this railroad apartment was the perfect place when she'd sit and hold me in her arms. I lost my lucky ball and chain. Now she's 4 years gone. She's 5 feet tall and sick of me and all my rattling on. She walked away from a happy man. I thought I was so cool. I just stood there whistling. There goes the bride as she walked out the door. There goes the bride as she walked out the door. There goes the bride as she walked out the door.
Have you considered supporting the Avondale Comedy Podcast because great content and higher educated discussions and well-deserved puns bring you entertainment? Well, look no further. See, this show is sponsored by our fans, and if you'd like to join the community of supporters, Patreon is set up for you. Now, how does Patreon work? Instead of funding pages like GoFundMe or Kickstarter, Patreon is set up for continued support, monthly donations to help maintain mainly artists, musicians, podcasters, people who create things continually. So head over to Patreon, search for Avondale Comedy Podcast, or you could find a link on our Facebook page. Sign up, help support our cause to bring sophisticated and refined humor to your podcast ears, because that's what we enjoy doing. And welcome back to the Avondale Comedy Podcast, broadcasting live on 89.5. Welcome back, guys.
Hi.
Hey. So yeah.
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 All right, we got to get Violet on here real
Oh,
quick.
Violet.
Oh, yeah.
Violet, come here.
I have my 7-year-old here. You have a joke prepared for us? All right, come here. Straight into the mic. Talk loud.
Why is Santa good at karate?
Why isn't Santa good
why?
at
Why
karate?
is he?
Oh, why is he? I don't know.
Because he wears a black belt.
Ah!
Hey, that's not bad. All right.
All right, that's pretty good.
Now, why can a 7-year-old do that, Scott, and you can't?
I got nothing. I
no?
have been bested. I might as well
Exactly. You got
go. All right,
nothing.
Violet, come on over here. I'm going home back to bed.
Good job, Violet.
All right, so what do you got for us?
So Scott over this week, he sent me a.
You always sent us, yeah.
Yeah, well, he sent all of us this link to this article. It's labeled 10 Things Everyone Hates About You. And it comes from a dating app called Hater.
That's a great dating app.
Hater.
Rather than looking for people you like, you just mark off all the people you hate.
Well, apparently, in this app, they users react to a bunch of different topics, whether they love it or they hate it. And so over 10,000, according to hundreds of thousands of people, it says.
I can believe that.
Here are topics that everybody loves or everybody hates, or an in between. And what's interesting about it is that it also shows how things change
Yeah, trends as you get older.
with different topics. And it was quite an interesting read. It's from The Pudding. I'm not sure if this website.
Pudding with the yellow and the popping.
website. I don't know where you found this, Scott. It maybe because you're on the Hater app. Maybe.
I can neither
Grindr.
confirm nor deny.
Confusing it with Grinder.
Sometimes I like to go online and hate things.
So universally, these are the some of the topics that people love: puppies, cuddling, pets, Italian food, eating out. Right?
Okay.
All
Sure.
things somewhat. And these are the universally hated.
Wet socks.
That's right. Bad Wi-Fi, telemarketers, moochers.
The Westboro Baptist Church was one of my
And
favorites.
Westboro Baptist, yes.
Wow, that's like number 2 on the list.
Yeah.
But it did not make number 1.
Dirty
Dirty
bathrooms.
Dirty
yeah.
bathrooms made number 1 most hated things that people will hate about you.
Yes.
Yes.
If you're looking for love, the article says, start by cleaning your bathroom.
God hates a wet toilet seat.
Hey, a clean commode is a good thing.
But some of the things
Okay.
that really interesting to me about is the overtime. It looks like they did ages 15 through roughly about 40. The overtime, what topics and things from as you mentioned, goat cheese and wasabi.
Yeah.
You're saying
how
there's,
they
you saying there's a lot of
Overtime.
15-year-olds on this dating site?
apparently.
Because I'm not sure we should be on it if that's the case.
That's true.
The couple I found more interesting was as you're getting older, having nothing to do
Yeah.
turns into a big deal.
Yeah.
And then
At the age of 37, having nothing to do.
something
is,
I didn't even know was a thing. Butt selfies.
You know, I saw that too. Butt selfies.
Does that go down or up?
It goes down.
It goes down. Fortunately, it goes
over?
down.
So
Butt selfies goes
apparently,
down.
if you're 18 years old, 70% of people love butt selfies.
Yeah, it's funny.
But if you're 40,
Still
70%
funny.
of people hate it.
No, still funny.
The drastic drop in malls. If you're under,
Yeah.
looks like about 21,
Malls are no longer fun.
no longer fun.
Our buddy Bill has nailed this because Bloody Marys over time, you like them more as you get older. Bill Binder is a wonderful Bloody Mary drinker. There you go.
Does that say myself?
Yes,
How much
it
I
says
love
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
and
older I get, the more I love myself.
Yeah,
not true.
If you're if you're 15 and 16, it looks like you really do not like yourself.
Apparently. But once you get past that 16-year-old mark, you realize I'm pretty awesome.
So according to this chart, these people don't think they think they've hit their peak at 64 years old? What a crock.
How about bromances?
Romances go down. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sucks. I wish I was Brody Jenner.
It also in this article it has like you can from different cities around the nation what people like and what people hate based
could be
upon where
interesting.
they are. Yeah, say like in Minneapolis, people love complaining. It's got a 12% plus to it, but they hate all lives matter.
In Minneapolis.
Yes.
well,
Okay.
Minneapolis.
all right.
What about Boston, Massachusetts?
Ah, yeah.
They hate
Boston.
$5 footlongs. Why would you hate
Why would
that?
you hate a
Why would you-
$5 footlong? What's wrong with that?
Just the jingle.
Can
Get rid of the jingle.
Mike,
I'm happy with it.
Take a guess what they absolutely love. Plus 54% in Boston.
In Boston.
Yes.
Something to do with the Pats?
Yep.
So it's either Belichick or Brady.
Brady. Tom Brady.
Boston's the crappiest city.
In San Francisco,
Well, hello, San Francisco.
your love goes up for wasabi.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I love San Francisco, but it's so freaking expensive.
I heard that. It's even more expensive than
It's worse than
LA
Manhattan.
It's
Yeah.
insane.
And Manhattan, yeah.
Ever since Silicon Valley folks started gentrifying the area, it's untouchable. Untouchable.
The Asian community is really large there in San Francisco, isn't it? Or in that
It was,
area? Yeah. So that makes sense. Why
That's
the
where they
wasabi
sent your
thing is-
people to build the railroads and then
Yeah.
exploited them.
I just figure after that long trip, you finally make it across the ocean. Like, you're welcome to America. I'm like, stop. This is as far as we're going. We're done.
I guess it dives a
Stay
bit.
here.
It dives a bit deeper about things that people like to talk about topic wise, things that they love talking about, and then there's that middle ground. But then there's the hated topics that they out there. I guess Netflix binging is something people love to talk about when they're on a date.
When you're on a date.
Yes.
Isn't it the whole Netflix and chill thing? Hey, what do you think about Netflix?
When you don't even have Netflix. Let's go to my place and watch Netflix and chill, knowing you don't even have Netflix.
Let me just turn on my VPN and look on the internet here. I'm sure I can get Bright somewhere.
When I said Netflix and chill, what I really meant is broadcast television, whatever's on Ion.
Chuck,
As
you
long
look,
as it's not too
NCIS.
cloudy.
Do you like Law and Order?
Law and Order, NCIS.
Chuck Dawn's right behind you. He just did the slow turn for everybody who's actually watching us.
Wow. You are if you're not watching online, you're missing out.
It's a little chilly in here.
In Japan, do they call it Netaforix?
And cheer.
It is chilled. Speaking of chill,
It is chilly
is
outside.
it
cold
sucks,
outside.
man.
It's warm today compared to yesterday.
By
We're doing all right.
comparison,
Well, the heat wave's coming.
like entire
Yes, it is.
flights have been canceled
Yep.
because of the cold. It's insane, man.
They canceled school because it was
because
cold.
it was cold.
Yeah, I know.
It was
That
dangerous
never
cold
happened
outside.
when we were kids.
No.
Co-worker had a case of water bottles in his truck.
Yes.
And they super froze. So they
Super froze.
Yeah, so it still
I'll
looks
take
like
the soup.
Wonder
it still
Twin
looks
powers.
like liquid.
Oh,
Yeah.
because it's pressurized in the.
Oh,
Well, it
right.
still looks like liquid. It looks perfectly fine until you touch it or disturb it. And the moment you do that, it just goes and
All right.
crystallizes
Cool.
and becomes ice.
That's science.
It's science and it's cool.
We've got a winter test facility a couple hundred miles north of Toronto that I've been to a few times, and it is like I've seen minus 47 up there. It is just bitter.
It's the surface of Mars.
The first time I went up there, one of the technicians looks, "Hey, you look new here." And I'm like, yes. He's like, "Hey, check this out." So he grabs this hot cup of coffee, opens the door, chucks it outside, and it's gone. It doesn't hit the ground. It just vaporized.
yeah.
The coffee, not the mug.
The coffee. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
the
he
mug
held on
just
to
vaporized
He held on to the
in
mug,
his
but
hand.
I'm like, seat cushions.
the mug is
Science.
gone.
Seat cushions are not pliable at 47 below. You sit down on a brick.
Yeah.
And the most amazing thing about that place is people are still walking around outside at night. Like that's one of their things they
'Cause
do
it's-
just to get outside.
Where is this horrible place? Because I'm never going there. Where?
Kapuskasing, Ontario. There
Yep,
is
not
no
going there.
North. Yeah.
There is no way to get there other than
it
a
hurts
dog
polar-
sled and a plane.
It
I was
hurts
gonna say
your
polar bear.
It hurts your face to live there.
Yeah, like you can't take
Your
one
face
breath.
is killing me, man. I'm sorry.
Why do I live someplace that it hurts my face?
I'm not gonna.
Well, that makes sense why they don't want to fly. Your hydraulics are having trouble.
No, that's how I got up there. It was flying in.
You'd fly in, yeah.
It's like a single strip. You know, there's so they don't
Single strip bar? Did what?
Where are we going?
single airstrip, but like they don't have much radar, like just a real radar signal. So when we were going up there, it's on one of our, when we had them, private planes, which you see the guys out winding the rubber bands before you take off.
Oh, right, yeah.
But so we're going up there, and you can see the little readout on the inside of the cabin. There's me and a couple guys from powertrain in there, and we're starting to circle, and you can see the altitude's getting lower and lower, and all of a sudden, like, you know, you kind of want to holler up to the cockpit, like, what's going on up there? Because shouldn't we just be doing a straight line in here? And all of a sudden, I see the co-pilot point out the window. There it is! And we're flying. Just this long slip down and hit the ground. Like, okay, here we go.
That airport's around here somewhere.
Old school flying.
You know, when I had a couple weeks leave in the Army, I had to catch a flight. You know, there's no commercial aviation in a
Right.
war zone. I hooked a flight with the Navy transport plane. And I was like, yeah, that sounds fine. I'll hook up with these guys. And I thought, transport plane. Oh, no. Oh,
Yeah.
no. It was this little POS gray little turd. It's the pilots and 6 seats behind them.
What are they
Yeah, that was kind of like
transporting?
it with us.
Humans.
Yeah.
Yeah. The officer
their
needs to get
commercial
somewhere.
airline.
And as soon as we got up into the air, it's the pilot, co-pilot, and in between them, they have a cooler. And once we're in the air, they open up the cooler and start pulling out sandwiches and Dos Equis and start handing them out.
That was
It's government.
that was one of the nice things about that. We had this little terminal at Metro with, you know, about the size of this room. Is me and the 3 other guys coming up with me, and pilot, co-pilot walk in. They got a box of Dunkin' Donuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, all right, let's head out to the plane. You know, no TSA. Just shove your bag in the bottom of the plane, and away we go.
Hey, have you ever had to take stuff out of your luggage because you were overweight? You put your bag up there and like, oh, you're 3 pounds over, sir. You got to take something out.
No.
Yeah.
Like open it up,
It's
grab
never-
your shampoo, and throw it across
Yeah,
the room.
Whatever. You have to take whatever pounds out.
It matters on that one.
Yeah, it does.
You've
It
never
would.
been
It
overweight
would.
on the luggage?
No, that's never happened to me.
No,
I
actually.
guess I'll throw away these pants.
Well, no, yeah. What am I supposed to do with this? And they tell you, what do you do with it? You
You
put it in
talk-
your carry-on.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
you're
still
talking
going on the
Yeah,
plane.
you're talking a commercial flight.
Nah.
Now I went on a commercial flight, like a big flight, right? And I had a duffel bag, and it had like one thing of underwear and a T-shirt. Like there's nothing in it. And the guys were telling me, you can't take that on the plane. You have to check it. There's no carry-on allowed on this flight.
Yeah.
So I had to check it. This 1.5 pounds bag, I checked it and put it on there. So we waited, and the carriage returned when the luggage is all coming down, and then here comes my bag, and it kind of goes flip. It didn't
kinda-
actually slide down the thing. It just kind of barely made it, and I had to actually climb up and like crawl up the thing to get the bag because it was stuck.
I want my T-shirt and my underwear.
When I fly out west to go Colorado, Utah, New Mexico to go skiing, I have my skis with me, and they're big. But then you have all of your ski apparel, and you are always overweight in your suitcase. You're always overweight, so you just have to pay the extra fare because your luggage is overweight. Then you have to pay the extra luggage for the skis and its tote and all that nonsense.
How heavy? How heavy were you on that
50.
thing?
I was like, my bag was like 55 pounds, so they only allowed 45.
So the guy that's in the next aisle that weighs 480 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no kidding. That ends
They've
up
made
sitting next to me
arrangements
all
for
the
that
time.
guy though.
Right. That's right. But my personal effects do not.
That's gonna
count.
put that. But
They do not
yeah,
matter.
Matt's ski boots are gonna send this bird into the side of a mountain.
Dr. Jones, no parachute.
Settle down, short round.
Over Christmas, I watched The Goonies.
Nice.
It was on, I don't know what channel it was. I saw it.
It was on
saw it
Ion TV, man.
I saw it. I'm like, I got to watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I haven't seen it in 10 years, but man, it's such a great show.
It is. It's a great show. I love it. No one talks in this movie. Everybody is screaming always. Like,
Hey, you guys!
they constantly. Go back and
yo,
watch it again and
Mikey.
realize this movie will give you a headache because no one talks, everyone's screaming.
Baby Ruth? And I made it sound like this. Hit puree. It was so gross. Hey, I'm starting to like this kid.
We've seen this movie a lot. We know it well.
That and Rocky. Can we do some Rocky?
Does Brandon
Hey, yo,
wear braces?
You taking that girl out tomorrow?
Yeah, that's right.
Why don't you take her to the zoo? Retards like the zoo. Hey, why are you talking to me like that? Because I don't like your face. Oh, I don't like your face. It's the best movie. Wow. Cut it out, the both of yous. Rocco, is
we
that
have
girl really retarded?
Started the dig.
Oh, she's not retarded. She's just shy. That's all. She's just shy.
This is the point
That
of the
was-
show where I wish I had brought the bag of Doritos for Mike to eat.
Crunch.
He does a good Stallone impersonation. I'll give him that one.
Now, that whole scene, that didn't that movie get nominated for?
Yes, it did.
Best
Picture.
Best Picture.
Stallone won Best Actor for that.
There you go.
Okay, so you have to read this update in Stallone. Go ahead.
All right, do it.
All right, Troy, Michigan. A couple was questioned today. I don't have as good as Mike, but I'm going to
You're
try.
getting into walk-in territory.
Yeah.
That's okay. You're
A
good.
couple was questioned today after being witness to a kidnapping in the grocery store.
He's
cereal
already
aisle.
reaching for the boo button.
When asked why they didn't report it, they replied instantly, "Well, we didn't want to wake him up."
I didn't catch any of the setup.
Yeah, there was a kidnapping.
Whatever. Just don't play boo because I didn't hear the setup. It might have been a good joke for all
need
we
to
know.
go to
You get nothing.
I'll take nothing.
Nothing. That's what you get.
Just read the punchlines from now on,
I'm telling you. Just read the punchlines.
and we'll fill in the rest.
All right, so we're taking a break. We'll be back.
All right.
Whew.
Would you like to call us and give us your opinion on the air?
No! God, please, no! No!
Well, you can't. Sorry, we don't have that kind of technology.
No!
But what you can do is head over to our Facebook page at the Avondale Comedy Podcast. Comment on our stories, future broadcast ideas, and we'll read the best comments live during our show. We'll even try to imitate your voice.
You're not any good.
I am good. You know what? You're a lousy kindergarten teacher.
The Avondale Comedy Podcast.
I've seen those finger paintings you bring home and they suck!
Airing live on 89.5 FM WAHS and available for download wherever they'll let us.
Hey, hi!
We were having a conversation. We didn't want to include you.
An interesting one, so we didn't want to put it on the air.
Speaking of Amish Paradise, the song we just played. Did you guys hear what happened on Jeopardy?
No.
So,
Something to do with the Amish?
So this is Amish. I'm hoping this is the right one here.
Good way to be
A
prepared.
song by Coolio from Dangerous Minds
I
goes
did hear
back
about
in
this.
time to become a 1667 John Milton classic. Nick.
What is Gangster's Paradise Lost?
Yes.
Okay, so that was
Yeah,
the
I
right
did
answer,
hear about
right?
this.
Gangster's
Yeah.
Paradise
Okay.
Lost. Now we go back.
Shouldn't it have been Amish Paradise Lost?
Well, the song.
They want the real song.
The real song is Coolio's.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, I
right.
know.
Okay, okay.
That Michelle Pfeiffer movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then we go back to Jeopardy.
Our judges have reevaluated one of your responses a few moments ago, Nick. You said gangsters instead of gangstas on that song by Coolio. So we take $3,200 away from you. So you
He lost
Wow.
$3,200
That is
because he said Gangster's
what
Paradise.
Jeopardy
What's
giveth,
the
Jeopardy
gangsta?
taketh away.
What
Wow.
a crock.
I would jump over the podium.
I don't think we can.
Is that why he has to go in for brain surgery?
You should
Because
see
he got
his response. He's like smiling and kind of like shaking his head a little bit.
Like, you serious?
I will kill you and your family in your sleep.
Now I'll get gangsta.
He's about to be
You want to see gangsta? I'll show you gangsta.
Wow. So Dave, you were talking about a song that Jen listened to yesterday. She shared it with you.
Yeah, I'm actually looking for it right now.
Oh,
So,
good.
So
yeah.
we're gonna do two things at once here.
So how did this happen?
Okay, so she listens to 40s and 50s, 60s music. That's kind of her genre that she enjoys.
Awesome.
On satellite radio, right?
Oh, Dion never hurt anybody. You know.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
keep talking and Matt will be quiet.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay, fine.
Shut up, Scott.
So this song came up that she's never heard of, and she's kind of listening to it. She kind of starts cracking up because this song is like really weird. So she came home and she let me listen to it.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I know where you're going with this.
Uh-oh.
I've got another one for you if it's not.
Was it Hey Macarena?
From the 60s, 50s?
The actual Hey Macarena
Okay,
song?
so
Richard
here's
Cheese?
here's the song. I just found it. So this came on, and maybe your response would be the same.
I got a date tonight with such a sweet little innocent thing.
Got it.
I'll sweep her off her feet before she knows what's happening. I'm gonna hand her my sweet talking line. I know it kills him.
Right.
Every time she's gonna love me from the start. And then I'm gonna break her heart.
So here it goes.
This is your conscience speaking. Be kind and sentimental.
This is your
Treat
country.
her tenderly. 'Cause if you're not a gentleman,
Wow.
you're gonna hear from me. And if she loves
Frankie Valens?
you from the
James
very
Darren.
start.
James Darren.
Now listen, Jimmy, I'm telling you, you better not break her heart. No, 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 no. Oh, yes, I will. Yes, I will. No, you won't. Oh, yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. I'm just a bad bull final tonight.
What
yeah,
am I
goes-
listening
I'm
to?
just
Goes
a
on
big
like that.
bad
So
wolf.
this guy is actually having an inner monologue in
The,
his
the
head.
angel and the
or a
demon on the
psychotic
shoulder.
breakdown.
Exactly. She's like, this is from this 1962.
That is funny.
That is wonderful. I actually enjoyed that.
That is not where I thought
You
you were
would.
going. but
Yeah,
that's
of
good.
course I would, right?
I mean, you've had this conversation many times before, I'm sure.
In my early 20s, yes.
So we'll save it for the next show. But where I thought you were going was like on one of the XM stations, I think like the big band station or whatever. I heard this guy called Richard Cheese.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we can play some Richard Cheese.
Okay.
We'll save
Mike's
it.
looking at me.
That just wasn't that wasn't very funny. I don't get that.
That was all right.
It's just a dumb 1962 song. Yeah, they had
Well, yeah,
music,
that's up there
but there
with
was
the
like
flying purple people eater
it
and
was dumb. I was expecting.
was-
I'm gonna break her heart, and then I'm gonna rip a big fart. I honestly, that's where I thought it was going. And when we discussed, wow, that was out of character for 1962. But
Well, then we will rewrite this song.
There you go, Mike.
All right.
That's your next
have a
do. I
job.
want a 1960s oldies version.
okay,
That's your next assignment.
Okay.
All right.
Sports.
that's how much effort's going into it.
You're just getting the chorus, basically. You're nothing else. That was awful, Dave. Do you listen to this kind
It's
of
like-
music normally, just like in the car?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I'll tell you what. I don't know that we can do this on the fly, but I was listening to some tunes, and it made me think, why were the Beatles popular? It had to be because they were so handsome. Because I listened to Freddie, I don't know, a bunch of 60s British invasion stuff, and they all looked exactly the same stupid haircut and the same skinny tie suit, and they all sounded exactly the same.
Yeah.
Why did the Beatles bust out?
they were the first ones probably.
Lost my truck, lost my girl, lost my keys, lost my world. Okay, Google, where's it at? Google knows.
Searching up on Google.
Why were the Beatles popular?
Okay, Google. Why were the Beatles popular?
I've never heard the banjo part of this. I like it.
With members John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr, they became widely regarded as the foremost and most influential act of the rock era.
Well, there you go.
That's
All
all
right,
I get.
Type in, go to YouTube,
All right, I'm here.
Freddie and the Dreamers.
Freddie and the Dreamers.
I'm telling you, is the name of the song.
I'm telling you now.
Okay, play it, and you tell me if any one of these. We'll bring one of these kids in, and they'll tell us if that is the Beatles or another band,
I
and they
think I
won't be
know
able
the
to
song.
tell.
A little less than a year ago, a group,
Nope.
a sound.
Fast forward. Just skip to the middle.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the middle.
We don't.
Oh, that's the Beatles.
Oh yeah, this is definitely the early Beatles kind of sound.
What are they doing?
They're dancing, Dave. They're dancing.
They're doing like the Hitler March on stage together.
What the like the high
This is
step?
so different from anything the Beatles did. The Beatles were so much more rebel. The sound was so different than this. It was the same crap.
Do you know for the longest time I had the Beatles and the Monkees mixed up?
That's bad.
I know.
That's terrible, dude.
Because the Monkees were not
Yep.
the same as the Beatles.
No.
Black jackets, black ties.
But listen to the sound.
Yeah.
It's the same.
It's the same sound, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what made the Beatles so popular is because their songwriting. They had catchy songs. They're not great performers.
That was catchy.
I don't think it was.
I'm
It's
telling
the same
you.
crap. That was the same guitar tones
Uh-oh.
and song structure as I Want to Hold Your Hand.
We're getting a message.
Uh-oh.
Is that your mom?
No, it's Jennifer.
Okay.
She's like, that's
That's
not
not
the
the right.
song,
I was
Dave.
gonna say that. That's not the right
Wrong
song. You heard something
God.
completely different.
This
I
is
just
the-
Never
met you.
listen.
So call me
Never pay
maybe.
attention.
it's like a fly in my house. I tell you what.
You know, I'm not too upset the station doesn't reach my house.
But the internet doesn't get to your house either.
You don't have that there interweb.
No.
You don't have the
The
interweb.
internet hit Genesee County a couple of years ago. But,
All right.
Is it AOL? Dial up.
my parents still have their AOL email address.
Wow, man.
Got that 14.4. It's amazing.
All good things come to an end.
What's that got to
do with this
show?
Yep.
So
What have we learned? What have we learned? Do we want to learn a new joke before we before we go into this here?
Violet, you got anything?
Do you have another
Do you have
joke?
another joke?
Oh.
She's got nothing.
Nothing?
No. All right.
We have drained her.
Yeah.
Grab your dad's phone and
Not
start
even
looking
a
on the
knock-knock
internet.
joke? Think of a knock-knock joke for the next segment.
All right.
After this, I may never laugh again.
That's what happens when you listen to this show.
Man, we're kind of all over the map on this one. I'm trying to remember.
Star Wars is awesome.
Star Wars
yes,
was awesome.
I absolutely loved it.
Fat guys with unkept beards don't know what the hell they're talking about. Sorry that we ruined their childhood, but
Oh, I thought you were referencing me.
Your beard is fine. What's wrong with your beard?
Yeah,
You're such a jerk.
Wow.
I'm back. Hi.
what else did we talk about?
I don't know.
Talked about the Lions.
10 things
the
I hate
loins,
about you.
10 things I hate about you, and topics of conversation on a date.
And nothing, I don't think we learned anything today.
Well,
Job done.
John
I
just-
don't ever learn nothing.
Dave got to watch Goonies.
Oh, yeah. That was important.
Everybody screams during the movie, apparently.
Yeah.
So
It's a very loud movie.
Deafening silence going on over here.
we just ran out of stuff, didn't we?
Well, I got, you know,
Oh, my
I
God, we got a whole nother hour left. What are we going to do?
moment
I
where we
got some
stare
things
at the
lined up for the
microphone
next
going,
episode, but yeah, if you,
Oh, I do have something.
What's
I'll
that?
save it because we're done here.
okay.
all right.
Well,
Let's play an extra song.
if you've survived so far listening to this,
and you can't wait for more.
head over to YouTube and you can see us live, and we'll wave to you. Matt
Hi.
will wave to you.
I'll wait.
And
Thanks, man.
yeah, we always broadcast on 89.5 when we can. The robotics crew is officially here. Their launch day was today, and so they're working full time now on their robots.
They
Studio
made
still smells like pancakes,
pancakes.
too.
yeah, they're making pancakes. That is so rude. I want pancakes.
Hey, pancakes delivery.
Pancakes, like a pancake delivery service?
service of pancakes.
Uber Kitchen.
Uber pancake?
No, what's it called? Uber Kitchen.
Uber Eats.
Uber Eats.
Ah,
It's already
there
there,
you
man.
They have it?
Yeah, you can
pick
go
your
to
restaurant,
Right?
and they go get it and bring it to you.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
So if you're craving
That's
a Denny's
fantastic
Grand Slam,
idea.
yeah.
you type it in.
I like that.
This poor Indian schmuck will
they make
drive
it
his
to Tennessee?
82 Oldsmobile to Denny's, pick up your Scram Slam, and bring it to you.
It'll be cold when
Of
it
course.
gets there, but yeah,
that
you can get it.
$4.99 breakfast is going to
Costs
cost you
$20.
$40.
Well,
Okay.
Desperate times.
I'm still mulling it over in my mind going, is that worth it? Maybe.
Now, if
We are still learning stuff
the
today.
only way it would be perfect to really just kind of tick me over the edge is if you can order it and have it brought to you still in bed.
Well,
I don't have to get up.
That's
and
what
put
you have
clothes on.
Kathy for,
That's what
right?
wives are for. I was going to say that.
She's not listening, so I can say that, right?
Oh, honey,
You
get
can
the
say
door.
that.
It's Uber. Oh, you got it? You may just bring it up here then, since you already picked it up.
Yeah, every morning I wake up and she's still there is a good morning. I want to keep that going.
That's the same thing where I read the obituaries every morning. And
Make sure you're still alive.
if my name's not there, it's a good day.
All right.
Fair enough, man.
All right, well, that's going to do for us for this episode.
Yep. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, if you're listening live on 89.5 or on YouTube, we have another episode coming up. If not, you can always download the podcast that we record on any place you can find podcasts.
If you're on YouTube and you're watching us and the feed suddenly goes dead and it says show over and you just sit there staring at it waiting for it to suddenly come back to life again.
Get a life!
It's not going to. You have to go back to the channel and click the new one.
Right. Right.
This is more to myself than to others.
Oh, oh no, you're getting lectured from behind you.
I'm not getting your Denny's Uber. Get your damn self, Charles.
All right, we're out of here. We'll be back.
See ya.